Hello, I'm Bill Scott. Welcome to our lesson entitled, If It Ain't Broke, Break It. The phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, may be the best example of sustaining mediocrity that members of the human race have ever spoken. It is the direct antithesis of success and the greatest contributor of failure ever conceived in the human brain. In fact, I cannot recall one person during my lifetime that uttered this apathetic phrase. I'm sure there were some, but I can't remember them. And that's the point. Those people have nothing to be remembered for, past their own generation and that of their blood kin. Henry Ford, Winston Churchill, Sam Walton, Jeff Bezos, Martin Luther King, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi. I could go on and on to name thousands in the 20th century alone that must have avoided using the phrase entirely. If every human being actually believed, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, more than likely we would still be living in the dark ages, terrified to leave our caves and face our formidable enemies. In fact, it is doubtful the human race would even exist at all. There is something terribly wrong with retail, and I set out in 1990 to get a handle on it. I read, I studied, I wrote computer code, I experimented, I cursed my failures and celebrated my triumphs. But in the end, I developed what I believe to be the only way small business retailers will be able to not only survive, but to excel in the 21st century. Why? Because most of you reading this may suddenly realize there is no magic here, and won't take the time to even consider exploring the material in these lessons. But before you go, if you only get one thing from our courses, let it be to eliminate the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, out of your vocabulary. In the year 1945, at the age of 44, Sam Walton purchased a 5,000 square foot Ben Franklin variety store, which we used to call Five and Dimes back then. It was located in Newport, Arkansas, a second-rate store in a second-rate town in what no one would have classified back then as a first-rate state. He used $5,000 he had saved while serving our country in the U.S. Army during the Second World War, and $20,000 he had borrowed from his father-in-law for fix-up and operating capital. For you sticklers of history, 17 years later he branded his first Walmart in Rogers, Arkansas. Now think about that. After 17 years of back-breaking hard work, doing without financially, painting, building, modifications, skimping to make ends meet, against all the odds, Sam Walton finally got a portion of his name on a building. His secret: first he learned all the rules. Then he broke all the rules, which didn't make sense to him. And that meant almost all of them. If you're interested in the complete story, go to the website at this address below and read it for yourself. I'll wait for a second while you write it down. You can pause this video to write it down at your leisure. Real success always starts with radical change. Sometimes the change is voluntary, and sometimes it comes at you like a freight train, and there's never enough time to get out of its way. In my book, Retail is Detailed, a retailer's playbook for beating Walmart, I wrote midway through my experiments. I write at length about the subject. The book is available on Amazon in both paperback and Kindle for PC format. I want to emphasize this book is not required reading for this course, but if the subject interests you, I suggest you take a look at it. Beginning on page 25, I wrote, in a Fortune magazine article dated July the 21st, 2003, entitled Churning Things Up, Andy Grove, chairman of the board of the Intel Corporation, suggested quantum leaps in the environment in which a business operates is a product of non-linear strategic change. Now, what is strategic change? In business, the term strategic change suggests the restructuring of a business or marketing plan that is typically performed to achieve an important objective. Let me say that again. The restructuring of a business or marketing plan that is typically performed to achieve an important objective. If the effect of a company's strategic action changes only its own competitive position, but not the environment, the action is linear. In contrast, a non-linear strategic action sets off changes in the environment that the company and its competitors have to cope with. I'd say that Sam Walton understood the principle of non-linear strategic change better than anyone. Walmart's combination of defensive and offensive strategies and using the 5 categories of strategic thrust, differentiation, cost, innovative growth, and alliances through nonlinear strategic actions are infamous in the world of retail. It was believed that no one could knock Walmart from their position as market leader until Amazon came along and proved us all wrong. I could offer you hundreds of examples of changes that continue to affect business in both a linear and nonlinear fashion. But I do have some favorites other than Walmart. Among those, the creation of American Airlines Sabre system, and of course Montgomery Ward's battle with Sears and Roebuck, and Walmart versus Kmart, Blockbuster Video versus Netflix. From my 42 years of experience, I have witnessed few changes occurring in the convenience store industry that came from within the industry, which has resulted in an industry whose primary focus seems to be the management of cost. And even that is being done poorly. What I'm offering you may be your one and only chance to break from the herd and take control of your own destiny. It is not going to be easy because for too long you have allowed yourself to become a participant in an industry that operates with a herd mentality. I'm not asking you to believe me without some proof. Look at these charts. In the year 2000, 92% of the convenience store industry was dominated by companies that owned in excess of 10 stores each. A mere 16 years later, that segment had fallen to 34%. That's a 58% drop in only 16 years. Why such a change? It's the same reason we see JCPenney planning for bankruptcy, Sears closing their locations, Walmart in a death struggle with Amazon. And the reason is purposely ignored. Strategic, non-linear change. No one planned this change. It just happened. And the main reason was someone in those companies said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Up until now, we have talked in generalities. From this point on, I'm going to reveal actions, which I fervently believe will not only increase your profits to the tune of 100% more than you experienced in your previous year, cut your carrying cost, reduce shrink and theft, put you in control of what you sell and to whom, build careers for your employees that will last them a lifetime, give you distinct advantages over your competition, and help you to envision a mission plan that will not only sustain you for years to come, but for the first time make you the controller of your own fate. I want to again express my appreciation for you watching our videos. I sincerely hope you stay with us as we begin to reveal the specifics of my plan. We will start by shocking some of you with how we plan to go about enticing you to adapt this plan and stick with it. I have tried it and seen it in action during the past 17 years of development, and I want to reiterate, you will at no time be asked to purchase anything to receive all of the lessons we have planned. Thanks, and I hope to see you again next time.